Hey guys, Nary here from DrakeWingGaming. So if you know me on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming at you with a new Furry Games video, and today we are looking at Psychic Connections, a furry sim dating romance game with apparently supernatural twists. Yes, I went from Doom Eternal to furry dating sim, guys, because this is just how crazy 2020 is. But you know what? I'm all for it. Let's do it. Let's make it full screen, actually. There we go. Hell yeah. Now, you know what? Let's do window. There we go. It runs at a higher frame rate in Windows, so. Transitions, rollbacks. Well, I don't know what that means. Alright, let's, do it. Alright, let's get into it. It feels like I've been driving forever. It's so dark. Could you even see? I can't afford to stop. You were so tired. If I could just... Oh, shit! I jolt awake in a sweat, gasping for air. It was just a dream. It's been a while since I had a nightmare about back then. From what I have been told, I was in a car wreck that landed me in a coma for 2 years. Until last winter, I had been vegetating away in a hospital before my condition had finally improved. I woke up with a pretty hazy memory and spent 6 months undergoing grueling physical therapy. Thankfully, I was able to get my diploma, and a college advisor was able to set me up for a scholarship for our college as a result of my situation. I'm still not sure how I feel about being a charity case, but I don't think I could have expected a full ride anywhere with my grades. Now I've completely recovered, save for a scar on the back of my head and the nightmares that I barely remember when I wake up. I've officially started college today. The stress of it all is probably why I had that dream again. I was barely awake for orientation yesterday. The trip took too much out of me, so I just crashed when I got to my room. I should probably check the time. It's 10:09. I definitely won't miss waking up early for high school. I can see I don't have any new messages from Dad. No surprise there. You'd think he'd have been more worried about his baby boy. And surprisingly, it didn't take long for him to return to being a relatively uninvolved parent. Now that I'm a bit more awake, I should probably log into the website mentioned at orientation. It looks like I need to link up an account still. I should have done this yesterday. Oh well, no time like the present. First name, default, Mason. Sure, let's go with Mason. Last name, Carter. Sure. Wow, they already have all my classes listed into a schedule. I barely even remember what I signed up for. It looks like I have an English class in a few hours. Jeez, I'm getting flooded with sprunk page. I guess one of my friends posted an update. It seems like Henry is doing pretty good at his school. He was the only one to reach out to me after I'd woken up. I guess the others felt too awkward to message the coma guy. I was pretty thankful to have him help me catch up on everything I'd missed. I wish I could have gone to his school so that I've had someone nearby, but I ended up on opposite ends of the country, so I can't really lean on him where I am. He's a junior now, and I'd probably be one too if not for... I flopped my phone back down onto my bed, letting my eyes stare lazily up at the bare ceiling. My bare ceiling. Still all feels too surreal. In what had felt like seconds, my entire life changed. My mom and dad had split, and all my friends left while I slept. Friends, it feels so strange not having anyone. Someone's at the door. Huh, I guess I better put on some pants and leave the existential crisis stuff for later. Shuffling my jeans on, I moved to open the door, but... Oh, hey there, you're Mason, right? Can I help you? I'm almost positive I've never seen this girl before, and I don't know how she has a key to my room, but I'm glad I at least got to put pants on before she opened the door. My name's Zoe. I'm the RA for this floor. Just, doing my duties, making sure you've moved in all right. Zoe brushes past me, letting herself into my room and begins looking around. Yes, please, just let yourself in. Don't mind if I do. I'm still a bit groggy, so I could be wrong, but I don't think she's allowed to just waltz into my room like this. Looks like you lucked out not getting assigned a roommate. Still a little empty, though, ain't it? I stare at her blankly. I just got here. Did she expect me to have this place decked out or something? She looks at my desk and pats it off as if to dust it off before using it as a seat, rather than the chair right next to the desk. Hey, it's your room. Don't sweat it. I'm just pulling your leg. College is a huge step, so don't stress too much, and go at your own pace. Since I'm here, do you have any questions for me? Right. She's a resident assistant. She'd likely know a lot about the campus. I'd be happy to answer questions you have. Or do around here. Well, on campus, there are a couple spots worth your time. The library is probably the ideal study location. They enforce a strict low-volume policy. You mean they do more than loudly shush people? Ha! Let's just say if you need to check out books for a class or use the media center to print something, I recommend staying on the librarian's good side. I question what someone would have to do to justify banning them from using open school resources like the library. But considering the RA can just let themselves into dorm rooms, I shouldn't question something like that either. I'll keep that in mind. There's a few open plots of grass and a couple good running trails all around campus if you're an outdoorsy type. Although, if you do prefer exercising inside, I'm told we have a pretty good gym. It's usually pretty comfortable most of the time, but it gets packed in the winter months. There's a variety of equipment, and there's some vending machines with low-calorie snacks and supplements. Speaking of food, I think they said something about a dining hall at orientation. Yeah, though if I'm being honest, I can't recommend the food there. You'd honestly be better off getting food from literally anywhere else. It can't be that bad. Well, one of the chefs on staff is very eccentric. He likes to experiment with the meals. Yukihara, is that you? But if you don't believe me, you're free to experience it yourself. Just make sure you record it for me if you do. Personally, I recommend you explore campus. I don't know much about you, so I can't really speak to where you'd like to go. How does one become an RA? Oh, are you interested in being an RA? I'm not sure. Actually, I'm not even really sure what an RA does. But I'm growing more positive you probably shouldn't have been able to get into my room. To be honest, it isn't anything special. We maintain dorm life and try to assist students with their needs while they live on campus. To simplify, we clean the dormitory building and make sure none of the students have any banned substances. I'd also be your point of contact if you get too inebriated at a party and didn't have a sober driver. Have you ever had to do that before? Only for students that didn't have any other friends to call. If you were interested in being an RA, I can tell you now that you won't be able to become one. Why not? It's a position only held by upperclassmen, so I'm afraid you'd need to be here at least a year, freshie. Something about being called freshie feels demeaning, though maybe it's because I'm having trouble looking at Zoe as my upperclassman. What program are you studying in? Me? Well, I'm a business major with a to-be-determined minor. I'm hoping to take over my dad's business when he retires, and it seems like a good place to start. What kind of business does he run? It's sort of a support group for individuals with unique needs. Suppose it's part of the reason I picked up being an RA, so I could get more experience interacting with different people. What about you? What are you here to study? I'm not too sure yet. I figured I'd cover my general education credits while I figured that out. There's nothing wrong with that. You're keeping your options open, which is smart. Just don't be that dumb junior years from now that declares a random major because it seemed doable. I have no more questions. Well, if you think of more questions, don't be afraid to ask. It's my job after all. Well, you're my last stop today. Zoe motions towards the exit, but she pauses and turns to look straight at me. Is there something wrong? No, just you have interesting eyes. Is she hitting on me? If so, I'm flattered, but she's sort of lacking the main things I like in a guy, like being a guy. Thanks? Hey, here's a thought. Why don't you come check out the club fair with me? Beg your pardon? Yeah, it's this big cluster of clubs that try to recruit new members for the first week of each semester. It can be pretty overwhelming, so I thought I could be your tour guide. Trust me, it's a lot of fun and a great opportunity to meet people too. Why would you want to be my tour guide? Why does anybody do anything ever? I'm always looking for new friends, and plus you're pretty funny, so I think I'd have a good time hanging out with you. You think I'm funny? I don't remember making any jokes. That's because you're kinetically funny. You don't even realize it. I'm kinetically funny. What does that even mean? It means the things you do are funny rather than the things you say. Like, for example, your fly's been down this whole time. I quickly look down, and lo and behold, my fly is not only undone, but gaping open as if to encourage peeking at my choice of underwear. I grab the zipper and yank it upward. I look up at the panda before me, who just snickers. We've been talking for a few minutes, and she just now pointed it out. See, you're kinetically funny. Plus, I hate it when people stay cooped up in their dorm rooms all day when they could be out living life. Like, really, what is there to do inside that you couldn't do with others? I can think of one thing. But after what just happened, I probably shouldn't make that joke, assuming she isn't already thinking that's what I was doing. Zoe is looking at me expectantly. It couldn't hurt to go check out the extracurricular activities. I don't exactly have a reason to say no here. Okay, it skipped, alright. Awesome. Awesome, you won't regret it. Let's get going. In a blink of an eye, she's yanking my arm, pulling me out of my room towards the stairs. Oh, here we go! It's something like she starts telling me about when she'd gotten lost last week that I start questioning my life choices. This is going to be a long day. Ooh, pretty. Wow, nice art. Nice art. The walk to the fair was pretty short. Zoe kept telling me more about campus life and things to look out for. Seriously, frat parties are the worst. By the end of it, everyone's completely shit-faced. Not to mention any guys you meet there are just trying to get in your pants. Really? All of them? No, not all of them, but most of the people I've met at those things were just looking for a quick hookup. Zoe stops for a brief moment and begins looking around us. In an instant, she's running towards one of the tables. I'm standing awkwardly as I watch her go. Blah! Don't do that! Go back. I'm standing awkwardly as I watch her go. I should have followed her. Hey Mason, get over here. I want you to meet somebody. Holy hell, is that fucking Furry Fabio? Oh, damn. Aiden, this is Mason. He's a new student, so I thought I'd guide him through the club fair. I see. Well, it's nice to meet you, Mason. The wolf before me extends his hand outward, and I give him mine in turn. His grip is firm, almost stiff. I look him in the eyes, and his gaze meets mine. I don't know if I've ever met someone with more piercing eyes. Aiden here is the president of the student government, and probably the most knowledgeable person here. Zoe says this proudly. Looking at Aiden, I'd say he looks the part. What's the word that comes to mind? Princely? Well, I'm sure that's true. I don't think it's fair to boast, given my status. His eyes return his focus on me, but somehow it feels like he isn't necessarily looking at me, but through me. I hope Zoe hasn't been giving you a hard time. She has a tendency to go overboard. Not at all. I think I understand where he's coming from. I can't say Zoe is anything particularly intrusive. I mean, she went into your dorm unannounced. She's been pretty cool so far. Not everyone is willing to help out a stranger, after all. That's certainly true. Maybe she's gotten better at first impressions then. That's an interesting look. I wonder if perhaps Zoe made a bad impression when the two of them had met. If she ever goes overboard, be sure to let me know, and I'll put a stop to it. Aiden, you make me sound like some kind of wild child. To think it was going to be my treat today. Out of the kindness of your heart, I can't believe I never noticed how generous you were, Zoe. Not sure what I would have done if you hadn't paid for my coffee today. Why, I'd likely have gone mad. I'm sure you didn't have an ulterior motive for trying to get on my good side today, either. Well, now that you mention it, I just remembered I'd promised to help the a cappella team set up their table. So I'm sure you wouldn't mind showing Mason around while I do that. Zoe doesn't even give Aiden a chance to protest. She bolts off deeper into the fair, disappearing into the labyrinth of makeshift stands and people. Wait, did I seriously get dragged out of my room by someone I just met, just to get ditched and left in the care of a complete stranger? I need to start reevaluating the choices I make that put me in these situations. She's acting worse than last year. Sorry about her. Like I said, she's a bit all over the place. Aiden sighs, but it isn't a normal sigh. Rather, it's the sigh of a broken man forced into similar situations on a regular basis. I pity him. It's time for my break anyway. So, how about I show you around? Are you really sure you want to spend your break doing more work? It's fine. I needed to stretch my legs anyway. Besides, it would be very unbecoming of me to not support my juniors. Aiden proceeds to guide me through the fair. Occasionally, we stop at a table and I learn a bit more about some of the clubs. He's pretty knowledgeable when it comes to the involvement and reputation of the various clubs, though that probably comes with being the student government president. So, we've looked at quite a few so far. Any of them catch your interest? I'm not sure. Some of these guys seem a bit extra. Are you sure none of these are actually cults in disguise? You must watch too many movies. Some of the students are just overzealous in their recruiting methods. If there was a cult at the school, I'd think I know. Excuse me, do you two have a moment? Oh no, you just had to say it. And guys, that is where I'm going to stop the video. I'm going to quick save it right there. Already, I'm enjoying this. Yes, I really like this so far. I cannot wait to play more of it. Panda Girl's pretty cute. Zoe, that's her name. Aiden is like a royal hound or something. Like, he looks super majestic. So, yeah. We shall meet the cast of other characters, and then I shall decide for this playthrough who I'm going to romance. Who shall be my amour? Am I talking like this in the video? Damn it, I'm Italian and I can't even properly do a fucking Italian accent. Oh, who would help me? But I have fun. We have fun here at DrakeWingGaming, guys. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that little notification bell. And until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!